The Gauteng Department of Education has urged pupils to be cautious about the food they buy and the traders that they buy from. This, of course, follows the developments in the so-called space cookies case. For more, let's bring in Margaret Zulu, Child Protection Thematic Programme Manager at Save the Children South Africa, to unpack this incident and more. Margaret, good afternoon, and thank you for your time with us here on the SABC.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me. How are you?
Well,
and good afternoon to the viewers.
We're doing all right. We're obviously just trying to understand where to from here in relation to the incident that happened, and perhaps you could speak to the issue of safety and security coming to the fore, perhaps on the back of what transpired.
Yes, so absolutely. I would like to start by saying that at Save the Children South Africa, we want to see a South Africa where children are protected, where our children thrive and they survive. And so our approach for safe schools really is that these schools are supposed to be free of all hazards, and children are supposed to be safe in and around the schools. And we really need to empower our children to ensure that they, they are safe, whether it's within the schools and outside the schools. But perhaps the critical questions that we need to ask ourselves, first of all, is that have authorities in that school developed and strengthened policies and systems for school safety? We know through our partnership with Department of Education, Department of Social Development, as well as Department of Community Safety, that there is an expectation for not only developing and implementing a school safety framework, but also having a clear plan on how to ensure that our schools are safe. Secondly, we want to understand, and in looking at this issue that happened and unpacking it, school safety management, how is it happening in that school? How are we ensuring that our communities, and not just the children, because it's one thing to expect the children to know which food is safe for them to eat, but the issue is, are our communities involved in ensuring that the nutrition and the school, the traders that are around the schools, actually bring the food that is nutritious and safe for the children to eat. And so that is where the dialogue, but also ensuring that the food that is brought to the schools meets the nutritional needs of the children, and it is free of any hazards. So it's really around thinking around the issues of hazards and child protection, and also looking at the vulnerabilities that come with the food that are around the school. It's also critical to ensure that conversations are held with the traders, from thinking about what food can be brought, what is the nutritional plan for the school.
Yeah.
Those are the conversations that we would really think about in supporting nutrition and safety for schools.
Well, Margaret, you've alluded to the responsibility of the school and the community at large, perhaps in the security in and around the premises of the schools. I wonder at this point if we could also look at the rights of parents and guardians in relation to such an incident, given that you also spoke about the school's necessity of the school to develop policies for safety.
Yes. And so the communities, as well as including the parents, have the responsibility to ensure that the children have proper nutrition and they get access to the right food. And so it is within the right of the communities to ensure, and through, we know that there are community mechanisms where such issues are discussed, but parents need to be involved from the level of the family. What food is the child having, not only at home, but also at school? So the right there, the right order also lies within the parents themselves.
When we flip the coin and also look at the informal vendors, which are a common feature in urban areas, in relation to the incident that occurred in the school, how prevalent are these incidences around the country? And at this point, how do we also, look at their role in terms of, their role along the value chain?
We know that the food vendors have a responsibility to ensure that the food is safe for children to eat, because at the end of the day, we are wanting to ensure that the children are protected, not just through nutritional needs, but holistically. So the responsibility also lies with the vendors to ensure that the food that they bring to the children, that they sell to the children, is safe for the children to eat. So these instances cannot be happening at all, because they have enormous impact, not only on the health of the children, but also on the psychology of the children. They have impact on the education of the children, because now, as we are aware, the children had to be rushed to the hospital, and so they are missing school. Therefore, we know that the vendors have the responsibility to make sure that this food is safe. And we also know that the Department of Health has the responsibility to ensure that this food is checked, it is monitored, and it is declared safe for children to eat it.
Margaret, thank you for your time with us on the SABC.